Hi everyone, it's me, Hasan. In this video, we will know how to integrate AWS AppSync with Lambda as a data source. I will provide you complete guidance, hands-on implementation in this video. What you will learn in this video? You will learn how to build GraphQL API using AppSync and how to configure resolver and connect it to the Lambda functions to data retrieval and manipulation. Let's just start the video. Now, first we need to create a folder. I will open up my directory and change the folder name to AppSync Lambda data source. I will call the folder name is this. You can change as you want. Now I will open it into VS Code space dot. Here you can see our folder is empty. Now we need to install a boilerplate code that will provide a CDK template. We need to run CDK command on CLI CDK init app dash language TypeScript. This command will generate CDK template in TypeScript into our folder. Here you can see whenever this command runs, it creates a few folders and files. Bin folder, lib folder, test folder, and there is also some file as well like package.json, tsconfig.json as well. Our main file is lib. We will write our infrastructure code in this section. So our boilerplate code has been ready. Now we need to create our graphical schema for AppSync. For this purpose, we need to create a folder. The folder name will be GraphQL. And in GraphQL folder, you need to create a file. I will call it schema.graphql. In here, now we are going to write our schema of GraphQL API. This is our sample schema. You can change as your API requirement. I will write two operations. First is query and second is mutation. Query is used for retrieval the data from the database, and mutation is used for manipulate the data like add, update, delete items into the database. Now first we write type query. Make sure that your query name will be query. This query keyword is a constant. Don't change this name. Now our first query field will be product. Products. What will be the products? Products will return strings of array. St arrange string of array. And I will create my second fields in the query will be custom product. Title, it will take one parameter like title. Title type will be string and it will return string. What this query code do? This query operation has two fields. One is products and other is a custom product. Products will return the whole product in our database like in a array form. If we have 1000 products in our database, it will return all the products in the list. And if we want to retrieve a custom product into our database and we want only get a single item from the database, then I will write title section. I will give parameter of my product and it will return into a single product using this field. Our second operation will be mutation. Mutation is used in GraphQL for add, update, delete the item. Now first write mutation, type mutation, and what will be mutation? Spelling is not correct. I will correct it. What will be the mutation field? I will call it addProduct because we are adding the product into our database. What is the properties of product? I will create an object of this product. Let's product. It will get product and it will take a parameter product input. Let's create this product input product input and product. What's the properties of products? Product has its own name. Product name will be string and product has its own price and price will be integer. And what this mutation returns, it will return product. Let me write this code and I will explain in shortly. Product type product, and this product has the same properties like name and price. I will in short form change product price. What this mutation operation do? It has a field called addProduct, and addProduct has some parameters like product input. What will be the product input? And product input has two properties like name and price. What will be the name of the product and what will be the price of the product? This is a sample API schema. And what will be the return if we add the product? It will return product object. Product object has also two properties the same as the product input like name and price. Here we define our two operations. First is query and second is mutation. Mutation is used for adding and manipulating the product into a database, and query is for getting and retrieval the product into a database. This is our sample schema of GraphQL API. Now we need to create a Lambda function. Lambda function is our business logic. For this purpose, we need to create a folder. I call this folder is Lambda, and in the folder I will make a file index.ts. Let's start writing our business logic. Whenever someone calls query and mutation, that query mutation will trigger the Lambda function and do some actions. That's why Lambda function is our logic, is our business logic that will be implemented based on our API. Let's write our code. Export.handler. I will call my Lambda function. Name will be handler. This is a synchronous function, that's why async. And this Lambda function receives some events. What kind of event this Lambda function will receive? Lambda function will receive AppSync events. For this we need to create AppSync type. Now we need to create this AppSync event. Here we say that whenever our API send a request, then our Lambda function receive an event, and this event has some kind of type. And this what kind of this event? This event is AppSync event type, and AppSync event type we need to define this. Now let's define this event. AppSync type AppSync event, and in AppSync event we have our field name and argument name. Let me write this code and I will explain it. Info colon field name type will be string. I will explain you what this field name is after writing the code. And second, we need arguments. What kind of arguments is title? Title will be string as well, and product will be product data type. What will be the product data type? Product data type, we create the product object type product. Product has string name and price. Price will be number. And this AppSync event defined in the event section. Let me explain this. Let me open our GraphQL API. Along beside that, this is our Lambda function. And in Lambda function, we have receive an events. Where we will receive this event? Events come from AppSync event, and we receive it in the Lambda function. What kind of event is that? This event receive field name and arguments. What is that field name? Field name is our query field name like products, custom products, and in mutation our addProducts. These are our field name. Whenever someone query the product, the AppSync match the which field name user will query. Either it is product or custom product, or user add a new product. Then there is a argument section. In arguments there is a two properties like title and product. If user query a custom product, like if user want a single item in our database, then this argument will be used. And if user add product into a database, and add product have a product parameters, and product parameters have price and name of the price, that's why we need to define argument. So now let's go to our function body. In this project we don't use real-time database like DynamoDB. We will use our demo data in this project. Now we create our demo database for this Lambda function for just testing the Lambda function is properly work or not. Instead of this demo database, you can use your real database like DynamoDB. Const product Here is my demo database, product array, and product array. There will be have few objects. First object is name, product 1, and price will be 100. Now I will copy and paste this object and write it again. I will change it. Product 2, product 3, product price is 200, and product price is 300. Here I create sample data for our API. You can use real-time data like DynamoDB as well. First, we need to create a switch statement for our field name. Switch type will be event.info. Even this one .info.field name. Event.info.field name. What will be the first case? First case will be this product field name. If our field name will be product, then it will return all product array, because whenever someone query the product field, this product field will return strings of array, and this is our demo data. It will return the strings of array. Our second case will be case custom product field. In custom product, we need to find our custom object in our demo database. So let's find our custom product. If argument dot title. Let me write the code. I will explain after that. Product array dot find. Find is a built-in function. We need to create a object of product and product dot item. Product dot name of the product, and I will convert into the lowercase is equal to. Let me close this. Event dot argument dot title. ये हमारा फंक्शन फाइंड करेगा प्रोडक्ट में से हमारे कस्टम प्रोडक्ट को. अब हम इसको एक वेरिएबल में सेव कर लेते हैं. जो भी आउटपुट आएगा वो इस वेरिएबल के अंदर आएगा, प्रोडक्ट आइटम, और इस प्रोडक्ट को हम यहाँ से रिटर्न करवा देंगे. रिटर्न प्रोडक्ट आइटम. अगर इसको ये टाइटल ना मिले तो वो क्या करेगा, तो वो रिटर्न भी कर देगा नल को. वो कुछ भी रिटर्न नहीं करेगा. रिटर्न नल, खाली रिटर्न करवा देंगे. Our last case is we need to add our product into our database. For this purpose, we need to define our case. Our case will be copy and paste the field name, add product, and product if event dot argument dot product, if event dot arguments dot product. Okay. Then we will take product array and push into a new product array. Argument dot product. Return event dot argument dot product. And if he does not find product, then return null as well. And lastly, default case will be return null. So this is our Lambda function business logic. Let me format it and I will explain it to you again. This is our Lambda function. Our Lambda function name will be handler. We have created our demo data for our testing purpose. We will receive event from AppSync. When our user query or mutation will trigger, then we will receive event in the Lambda function. Based on the event on that field that we get in the event.info.field name, our case will decide what will be the business logic will be returned. If the user query the products, it will return all the products that lies in the demo data. And if the user query the custom product and want to get a single item, then custom product field will be run. And lastly, and if user want to add a new data into our database or in a demo database, then add product field will be triggered and it will push our new product into a demo database. Here is our complete Lambda function code. Now let's go to the lib folder in the file and start writing the infrastructure code from this point. Let's get started our infrastructure code. For this purpose, we need to import our necessary libraries. First one is AppSync. Import all as AppSync from AWS CDK lib /AWS AppSync. And second library we need to add is Lambda. Import all as Lambda. from AWS. Now first we need to configure our AppSync with our GraphQL API, which will be schema GraphQL. Now we need to configure it into our infrastructure code as well. Now create AppSync, new AppSync, AppSync.GraphQL. In GraphQL function we have, in GraphQL function we need these parameters. First one is scope. What is the scope of this construct? What is the ID of this GraphQL? And what is the properties of this GraphQL? What is the scope of this GraphQL is this, because we are writing our infrastructure in this constructor, that's why this. What is the name of this GraphQL AppSync? Name will be GraphQL API, and I will also define the properties of this. First one is the name of this API. Name of this API will be CDK API, and also we need to define our schema path. For this schema we have AppSync dot schema file dot from message, and from message we need to define the path of our schema file. For this GraphQL folder, in GraphQL folder we have schema dot GraphQL file. This is our folder GraphQL, and this is our schema.GraphQL file. Also we need to configure our authorization, and we are using the default authorization of AppSync API key. For this purpose, authorization key configuration, and we will use default authorization. Authorization type will be AppSync dot authorization type dot API key. We will use this. And what is the expiry date of this API key? I will configure it into 1 year time period. For this API key config expire CDK dot expiration dot after CDK dot duration. What will be the duration of this? I will use it seconds, and if you want to increase, then you can also duration. I will use second, and if you want to increase, you will also increase the days and months as well. Seconds I will give 10 seconds. Okay, let me see what is the error. Okay, it's a colon. Now this is our AppSync API construct. Now we need to print the GraphQL API URL on console after deployment. For this purpose, we need to configure cdk.cfn output. This function will print the GraphQL API URL on CLI. So this function has few properties like scope, ID, and properties as well. Scope is this, and name of this output is API GraphQL URL, and properties of this is value. What is the value? We need to show value is API URL. First we need to go to AppSync and pass this AppSync output into a variable. I will call it API. Copy this API and paste it dot GraphQL URL. I will also mention the GraphQL API URL. We also need to print the API key as well. Now copy paste and API.API key. Okay, what is the issue? Okay, if it is not available, then no. Now we need to configure our lambda function. For this we need to use new lambda function, and function has also a properties like scope is this, and name of this lambda is lambda function. You can change your name as well, and also there is a few properties. First is the runtime of this lambda function. This is our Node.js project, so I will use Node.js version. Runtime will be lambda dot runtime. Our runtime will be Node.js 18x. Code, where is the code path of our lambda function? Lambda dot code dot from message, and from message we need to define the path of our folder. Our folder name is lambda, so I call it lambda. Also we need to define our code file as well. In our lambda folder there is a file called index.ts, and our file is index. Our file name is index, and our function name is handler. So we can define in that way handler. First we need to define the file name index. After that index. After that, we need to define our function name handler. I will use this. What will be the timeout of this lambda? Timeout cdk dot duration dot seconds. I will also pass it 10 seconds. I just put wrong duration time in our AppSync API. I will change it. I will not use 10 seconds. I will use in a days 365 days, because this API key will be expire in 1 year duration. After 1 year, this API key will not be valid. So we need to configure into a new API key. So this is my mistake. Please correct it. Now, don't worry, I will explain the code again after writing the whole code. Now we need to create our Lambda data source. For this purpose, we need to create our Lambda data source. We need to copy our API dot Lambda data source. In Lambda source, first we have in Lambda data source. First, it will take parameter called ID, and then there is a Lambda function. ID of this Lambda source will be Lambda data source. And what is the Lambda? I will put this Lambda into a variable const Lambda function, and this Lambda function will pass into this parameter as well. And also into a variable Lambda data source. Here is our Lambda data source. Now we need to create a resolver from our API and connect our query with Lambda data source. For this purpose, first we need to describe. Okay, first we need to write our comment here. Set Lambda as data source, and here we need to configure the resolver of our data source. Describing resolver for data sources. First, we will describe our resolver for query. In GraphQL, we have few query fields. First is product, and second is custom, and then last one is mutation for addProduct. So that's why first we need to create resolver for query. We need to copy this Lambda data source variable dot. Here is a create resolver function, and this create resolver function will take ID and its properties. ID will be create resolver for product query. And what will be the properties of this? First is type name. Type name will be query, because we are using this one. Type name is query, and second property is the field name. Our field name will be just copy paste products. Here we define our query for products. Now we need to define the second resolver for our custom product. Just copy paste and edit this one, products from custom product, and in here query, and here you need to edit products to custom product. These are our two create resolvers for query. Now we need to define our last resolver for mutation. Copy paste this, and instead of query use mutation or add. Also we need to change the name of this mutation. Product. And what is the field of this? Field name will be addProduct. Here is our complete code. Let me explain it once again. First, we need to import our necessary libraries. First one is AppSync and second is Lambda. Then we create AppSync constructs where we define our schema file of GraphQL API, this one, and also we define authorization configuration, which is default API key that AppSync provide, and also we define expiry time of this API key, which will be 1 year. 365 days is equal to 1 year. After that, we need to expose our API URL and API key into our CLI. Whenever we deploy this stack, I will show this link into a CLI. After that, we define our Lambda function here, where we define our runtime environment of our code written in JavaScript. That's why I use Node.js. If you write your code in Python, Java, or C Sharp, then you can use that version as well. Then I define the source path of our business logic and the file name. Lastly, we define our Lambda data source and we connect our Lambda data source with API key using the create resolver. First two create resolver for query and last one is for mutation. Now let me deploy this project and see what happened. First we need to compile our TypeScript code for this. Npm run build. It will compile our TypeScript code into a JavaScript. Now we need to fix this problem. The problem lies in our index.ts. In products, here is our issue. Let me save it and recompile this program again. Okay, our TypeScript code has been compiled. Now we need to deploy this project into a AWS account for this CDK scene. CDK set command will deploy your TypeScript code into a CloudFormation template. The CloudFormation template will look like this. AWS understands this format to deploy our infrastructure. Now we need to deploy this project CDK deploy. Using this command, we can deploy our infrastructure into a AWS account. It will take few time to deployment process. Enter yes. Here you can see that our stack deployment has been complete, and you can see these two links. As you can see these two links, first one is API key and second one is GraphQL URL. These two code provide our API URL and API key into a CLI. So we can use this into a publicly. Using these link, we can access our API into a publicly. Now let's go to AWS and see our stack deployment. Sign in your AWS account and enter AppSync. Here you can see our API, and in our API go to queries, and here is our queries that has already been deployed. Let's test this. First products. Now I check mark this product and run it. The list, it will show the list of demo data that we write in our Lambda function. Now we need to check our custom query as well. From enter our custom product will be product 1. This custom product query will also work. Now we need to test this mutation operation as well. For this, enter mutation and add a new product. And the new product name of product will be product 4 and price will be 400. Our mutation operation also work. We can also check our Lambda function. Just enter Lambda, open it into new tab, and here is our Lambda. Here you can see this is our business logic that we write in our Lambda function. This logic, this one, this logic deployed on AWS Lambda function. And also we test our AppSync with Lambda using GraphQL API. Now we need to destroy this project. For this purpose, we simply run CDK destroy. It will destroy all the resources that we deploy using CDK in just a single command. Enter yes. Our stack has been destroyed and deleted. So in this video, you will know how to configure and connect AppSync service with Lambda function using the help of Lambda data source. If you like this video, then like and subscribe. Thanks.